Order, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'd like to welcome our brand new superintendent, Mary Jane Rickson. Is there any recognition?
I do. I have 3 recognitions today. I just want to recognize Cindy O'Hara. She's the Director of Technology. Cindy took the initiative to get our outstanding bills paid and iVisions with that for Sheila Blank. So I really want to thank her. She has been a tremendous help getting everything done. I also want to thank Sheila for her continued efforts for working with us while she's still in the town hall. She has been a godsend at really being helpful. And I want to thank Mary Beth Kolarski for taking some time out to spend some time with me all week and spending a couple hours here and there and getting me on track and helping me find what I need. So she's done a great job. And then, of course, I want to thank Anna, Robert, Tim McCormick, and Sarah Priestley, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in the shape we're in, which is pretty decent for them helping out when we were here. So they did a great job keeping everything under control. So I just want to thank everybody, and I want to thank everybody for welcoming me, and it's been a great 5 days. It's been great.
So I too would like to recognize the administration, obviously the staff and the students and the parents of North Brookfield for their understanding as we go through this transition. I'd also like to thank the members of the school committee, because none of us really expected any of this. So this is, I think we all came together and worked well, and so I appreciate all the work from everyone. Thank you. Joe, you're up. Student Advisory Council.
All right, for our recent, past month, we mainly worked on our homecoming games and dance. Homecoming games are held on Wednesday, October 6th. All of our school sports teams participated. There were concessions available and multiple fundraisers for community. Those are held over. And the homecoming dance was held on Thursday, October 7th, which took place mostly outside. For upcoming events, we have Fall Conference, which is on Wednesday, November 10th, and Hyannis, which is back in person this year on March 9th, 10th, and 11th in Hyannis, Cape Cod. Our breast cancer awareness run and walk is coming up this weekend. Our annual breast cancer run plus walk is being held at MBHS on Sunday, October 24th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This run and walk using the cross-country route, in which all proceeds benefit the Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition. And we're participating in the Town Hall Festival on Saturday, October 30th.
Joe, you can email that to us?
Yep.
So we have it in our minutes? Thank you. I do not believe we have any minutes to approve today, correct?
No
Any
minutes.
correspondence that we have received? Not, no aware of. Is there any public participation on agenda items?
Dean Stratton, UTA President.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just would once again ask with the committee if you would personally reconsider instituting the mask mandate. Just to let you know that, in case you're unaware, the most recent numbers show that in North Brookfield has a 4.63% positivity rate compared to 1.82% for the state. North Brookfield has had 18 cases over the last 2 weeks. That does not include the email that we received today that one more member of our community has COVID as well. And the 14-day average incidence, which looks at cases averaged by population, shows that NB is at 27.8 and Mass as a whole is at 19. We would prefer not to rely on the governor. I would ask local leadership to kind of step up, because I really think it's important for all of us. We want to remain here. We want to remain healthy. We want to be able to teach the kids in person. So, thank you.
You're welcome. We have school committee reports. These are the administration reports, I believe. No school committee reports. Financial report.
I gave you the copy of the financial, the warrants that we had to have, but I don't have any financial reports at this time.
Is there any other questions regarding those warrants that were signed? I know we don't have the normal breakdown that we normally would, that's because we don't have a business plan. No?
Thank you for attaching them to the email.
Yes.
You're welcome. I will make sure that we have a more cohesive financial report for us next time. We'll sit down. I'm sitting down actually with Sarah a little bit tomorrow, and I'll be working with Sheila in the next couple of days to sort things out. So hopefully we'll have a more comprehensive conversation at the next school committee meeting.
Superintendents report.
Sure, I got a few things. So I interviewed, as you know, we don't have any central office staff, HR and business manager, as well as the clerk and the school committee recording secretary. But I do have interviews scheduled Tuesday and Wednesday this week. I'm hoping to offer one of the several candidates we have, if they're viable, at the end of the week, a position, and then hopefully they'll be in line in the next 2 weeks, depending on what their workload looks like. So I do have some promising candidates. I'm excited to see the ones that are coming up. Couple of things that will be happening this year. We're going to start our NEASC review. That's coming up in April. Tim talked to you a little about that. So they're coming. We're going to start doing some work on that with the high school and the junior, senior high. We just got notification that we are going to have a tiered focus monitoring review. So this used to be called the CPR review in the past. They're calling it now, this TFM is called the tiered focus monitoring. That is to review our special ed department and our civil rights policies. So Anna and I will be attending a webinar in December, and that takes place in the spring, probably around the same time as NEASC. It's good that they're happening at the same time, because then we can look at all this documentation together and not have to do everything twice, so that works out great. Staff and parental communications, I sent a welcome to staff and families, and then I also sent a letter to families regarding the COVID testing procedures as far as the test and stay and the other procedure we have. I want to thank Maureen Floyd for putting this together. She did a great job. Again, I want to let the parents and families know that this is completely optional, and it's a voluntary opt-in program. In order to participate, you have to consent to it, so it has to be voluntary. And if you do not want to participate, you don't have to do anything. So just want to put that out there. So I did meet with East Meadow administration, and I walked through the schools, not as much as I wanted to this week, but I did do a little bit of a walkthrough, and we had a leadership team meeting on Friday to talk about our next step for our district. And our next admin meeting will include ESSER funding, strategic planning, and reviewing our district improvement plan. So in speaking of the ESSER funding, we also talked about some of the grants, and all of the grants are in on time at this point, and we're just waiting to do on the ESSER one. So I just want to talk to you a little about what I'll be doing in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be hosting a series of meet and greets. On Tuesday, October 19th, which is tomorrow, I'll be having a meet and greet for the high school. That's at 2 o'clock right after school. So people that can make it would be great. I'm doing the same thing here at the elementary school at the dismissal time at 2:30. And then for the community members at the high school library on Thursday night from 5 to 7, just come on over. We can chat, talk about things that are concerning you. Just meet me and ask me any questions. So I'm going to have that available. In addition to the meet and greet, I think I will be creating opportunities for other staff, students, and families to participate in focus groups. These groups are focused on climate and culture, students for programs of study and school choice, talking to the homeschool parents. So I'm going to try to involve everybody that is part of this community. I'll be contacting community members to participate as well, businesses. And then I will be looking at creating an entry plan, so gathering some information on the district community. My job is to create a community presence and assess the challenges and strengths, looking at new opportunities for our students, looking to improve student achievement and support student and staff retention. I think that's something we have to focus on. And then also taking a look at some of the other initiatives we're looking at right now, regionalization or the other avenue. So that's all I have at this point. I've been doing a lot of emailing and a lot of paperwork and just getting familiar with the staff at this point, but that's what I have to date.
Administrators reports? Who's going first?
Right on. I'll go first. And Joe, you stole some of my thunder already, but just want to recap, we had our homecoming a week ago. Very successful Spirit Week dance, which was held outside, and our first pep rally in almost 2 years. And I was very pleased with how all of our students were engaged with the whole week. We held PSETs for our sophomores and juniors last Wednesday, the 13th. We also had our first financial aid night that was put on through Citizens Bank. Will be only a second event, very similar to that later in the fall. We also are starting the NEAS process with a self-reflection process, which starts by collecting data from 3 surveys from our stakeholder groups. That will take place sometime later this spring, and look for emails from me eliciting some feedback and also some help with families and parents as we get closer to that process. And then last thing is that we will hold our second school council meeting this Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. at the high school. We hope to see families and parents come in and be part of that process.
So did you say that was Wednesday night?
Wednesday, yes, the 20th.
Next.
Go ahead. Okay. Thank you, Sarah.
Anytime.
So, I'll just start off. We did have a CPAC event at the end of September. There was low attendance, but I did have a couple of parents that attend really want to work to try to spur more attendance for this event coming up in October, and it's actually this Friday. We're doing a pumpkin decorating theme, so we really hope that parents come out, and it's a family event, so they can bring the kids and have a good time. So again, that's this Friday at 6 p.m. In terms of personnel, we will be losing Nikki Mooney, who is one of the contracted school psychologists at the end of this month. She is moving on to bigger and better things in Italy. So we will still continue to have Deborah Culberson on for contract. We also did have a BCBA start as the district BCBA on October 4th. And we are actually we are currently looking for a new school nurse at the elementary level, because Shirley McAfee has submitted her resignation, but she will stay on until we identify another school nurse. The one thing that I really did also want to bring up is our ELL teacher. So presently we have an ELL teacher on contract for 90 minutes a day, weekly, and based on our review of DESE DESE expectations for students based on their EPL level, which is English proficiency level. So basically, every year students they take what's called access testing in January, and based on the results of that access testing, they receive an EPL level. And so each EPL level, and it's a 1 through a 6. And so the 6 is exiting out of needing English language services. So at this point, we have a few students that, excuse me. So at this point, we have 2 students that need 90 minutes per day of ELL support. We have 2 more students that need 45 minutes a day for ELL support, again, based on their EPL level. And then we do have some students that we're currently assessing whether they will need ELL support through some screenings. So when that gets added up, it equals out to 4.5 hours per day. And currently we have an ELL teacher at 90 minutes per day. So I'm requesting to increase the ELL teacher's time for the 4.5 hours, plus additional time for prep time, and if the teacher needs to do any screenings of other students. Are there any questions about that? I know it was a mouthful.
I need a recommendation from the superintendent.
Okay.
That's on my part of it. I would like to make a recommendation, which I was gonna talk about, but to make a recommendation to hire the full-time EL teacher, because we are dictated by DESE to ensure the students are gaining the services that they need.
Do I have a motion on the floor? We can't,
I-
so I'm sorry, we cannot just increase those hours. It's a completely different role since it's a full-time position. So that's why I'm asking for a motion. It's creating a new position.
I'll make a motion to create the position to satisfy the DSE requirements.
I'll second.
Okay, no, I'm asking, second.
Yep, second.
Okay, is there any discussion on the board? All in favor?
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Superintendent, I expect next month we'll talk about where that money's coming from.
Yeah.
Once you've had a chance to go
Already
through the
have some
financials.
ideas, but
No,
we'll talk
just
about it next
Once you have a
time.
chance to go through the
That
financials,
sounds, yeah.
when you've been here for more than 5 days.
I think that's a wise decision. I don't want to say anything right now.
Sarah, you got nobody else left duck to unless you're gonna make Marty go before
No,
you.
I'll go next. I would just like to publicly welcome our new STEM teacher, Deborah Rossman. I don't remember if she was hired before the last meeting, but she has started and is running our STEM classes. I know she does a couple of STEM classes up at the junior high school, so we're just super excited to have her on board. I would also, just two more things from my report that I wanted to share. Our sixth graders returned from their trip to Nature's Classroom. It was an amazing experience. I was able to go down with a few colleagues from the elementary school who just really wanted to go down and visit with them, and we get to spend some time there and have lunch with them. And it was just it was so great to see them there and doing those outdoor activities and learning the way that they did. Huge thanks to our sixth grade teachers, Brianna Hurley and Audra Roden, who chaperoned the trip. Audra also coordinated the trip as the Nature Classroom coordinator, with my guidance, and parent Tim Davis for chaperoning as well. So thank you to all of them. And then the last thing I just wanted to highlight in terms of professional development, we did have a day and a half last week on the 7th and 8th, and the major focus of that time was spent on Priority 2 from the Acceleration Roadmap, which is focusing on establishing systems to monitor understanding. So we really dove into data and looked at how we are measuring student progress and student achievement and how we are using that data to plan for instruction. So we did some building-based work, both at each building and also kind of in our own little cohort groups. So at the elementary school, what that looked like is some of our content or grade level teams working together to look at that data. We plan to continue that work on the November half-day PD. We are also looking to partner with our local police department to do some campus security training, as far as we have done Alice in the past, and we're looking to see if that's a protocol we will continue with. So more to come on it.
You're last.
I'm it, huh?
That's it.
I got the good, exciting stuff, not really. So basically, what we've been doing in facilities, obviously, we're keeping everything clean, getting the grounds fixed up for all the different games and home games and so forth. Senior day today, finally, for soccer, so that was great to see. Our dump truck is headed down to the highway department. We got the brakes in late last year, and they finally have some room to get us in to get that up to some front brake work. As everybody knows, lead times for parts and service is getting way further than what it used to be, unfortunately. But we got some things that are going to get fixed up over at the high school for controls, HVAC controls. Knock on wood, we fired up the boilers today and nothing broke. It's just one little leak on a pump, but we're gonna look into that tomorrow with the HVAC company. I've got our list of building inspector, fire department walkthrough from the end of the summer. Just a few more things to finish up. A lot of basically just minor stuff, adjusting doors and so forth. But other than that, we did have a couple of issues with the fire alarm here. Decided to do things on its own. Not really sure what that.
Anna's
that
going
was a
like
fun
this.
day.
Anna's going like this.
So we're just gonna keep an eye on it. Troy Brown's our electrician, and he's the one that installed that system, and we're gonna keep our eyes on it. It decides to go in trouble for 1 minute and then stop and then go into alarm. So, well, hopefully it just decided to hiccup on its own and it's right as the ship and away we go. But anyway, other than that, it's pretty quiet in my neck of the woods.
Thank you. Is there any old business?
I don't have any old business at this time.
Any new business?
Well, most of it was already talked about with the new staff members, but I do want to let you know that we did hire a music instructor for the middle high school, and that person is Eric Blumenthal, and he will begin his tenure on October 28th. He contacted Tim, so he's a go, so that's good. Good candidate for the school nursing positions here is going to start those, and then we're still looking for a school psychologist. I did want to mention that I didn't mention on one of the communications from Donna Holmes, the food service director. We'll be sending a letter out to the families about lunches because, and which reminded me over there from Marty, there is a supply chain shortage. So sometimes when we plan meals, so I just want parents to know, if it's on the calendar, it doesn't always mean that that's what we're gonna get served, so please be patient with us. Donna is gonna work her magic with her and Patty and the staff to make sure that, you know, they're still getting nutritious meals, but it may not be exactly what's on the, so be looking forward to that supply chain letter from Donna.
And just to add to that, whenever Patty in the elementary school kitchen does make a change, she usually tries to tell me as soon as possible. That way I can put it out in the morning announcements. So I do post those on our Facebook page.
Okay.
So just kind of be in tune to that for elementary folks.
Okay, great. Yeah, and that was the only, and then the other one I had was the EL teacher, so that's what I had for new business.
Is there any reason to go into executive session? Then I will accept the motion to adjourn.
We'll move to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? So moved. Thank you very much.
Well, that was record time. Good.